And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this week's Wi-Fi Wednesday. This is a very special edition of Wi-Fi Wednesday. Today is all about Wi-Fi marketing and COVID-19, the infamous coronavirus that we are all dealing with globally. My name is Kevin Z. I am founder and CEO of My Wi-Fi Networks. And today I'm here with a very special guest, Craig Morrell from CAM Marketing Group. He's actually been a good partner of My Wi-Fi Networks for quite some years. And hey, Craig, how's it going?
What's going on, Kevin? Thanks for having me, man.
And thanks for being with us today. And I hope you and your family are staying safe and healthy and inside. And that goes as well to all of our resellers on the call watching this either live or on a replay. Obviously, this is a unprecedented times for the world. Everyone loves to say, and it's one of those times where everyone needs to always remember what's important in life, and that's number one, health, family, safety. So that's obviously a priority. But obviously, a close second is taking care of your family, being able to run your business, being able to make money. And I think what I want to talk about today, and especially with Craig on the call, is, and actually we'll just turn off the slides for now. We'll just keep on video because I want everyone to really be focused on really the opportunity now, and not just look at what's happening in the world as a potential problem. Now, I'll hand it over to Craig in just a sec, but just to kind of lay the foundation here, Wi-Fi marketing. Right? It's a tool that's used that lives on top of guest networks, and guest networks are in public spaces where people congregate and gather and dwell. The problem with COVID-19 and a pandemic such as this is that people are now forced to quarantine or stay away from public places, not dwell, not gather. So our usage, in fact, in our platform, as far as public spaces, specifically restaurants, and you look at that group, is obviously way down. However, there's another group of our segment that's way up. We have a lot of medical clinics. We have a lot of public areas, public spaces that people now more than ever need to be connected, need to be, in tune with what's happening. So, Craig, I know that you've been with us for quite some time. You have a lot of clients that are running Wi-Fi marketing. Maybe you can go into a little bit about, some of the challenges, some of the word on the street, and what you're doing currently to keep things afloat.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, as the light of this has been coming to life and everybody getting shut down, I'm in the U.S. I'm in Connecticut, and like many of us, the restaurants and these other places have been told to shut down. They can't have anybody come in the doors. They've been rolling out, of course, more delivery, more curbside pickup, stuff like that. So I've been reaching back out to a lot of them, just say, hey, now is probably the best time we can start utilizing your list. Let's start using your SMS. Let's start kicking out some email marketing and let them know that they can order online, maybe Grubhub or whatever you're using. Let's let them know that you're still there. You're not just closed. So it's been a good way that at least they can kind of generate something. It's not the same as it used to be with the dine-in experience, but it's something. And I think just giving this marketing advice to people who have a list and they're maybe not utilizing it, they've been able to, put some more trust in me. Craig's a trusted advisor, and I really appreciate the info he's giving me, especially with the technology that we have already implemented. So, yeah, it's been helpful.
Yeah, that's so totally true. And I think if we can, break this out into two main groups, those who are on the call watching, Wi-Fi marketers who already have clients. So if you already have clients and you have these installs and you've already generated data, you should not be quiet right now. In fact, you should be chirping in the ear of your clients immediately, if you haven't already, saying that, look, number one, want to make sure, as your trusted advisor, want to make sure that you and your family are safe and healthy. I'm just checking in. Obviously, you want to do that first. And then a real quick second is you want to ask them what their plans are, right? How long do you plan to be closed for? When do you plan to reopen? And there's a lot of unknowns right now, but the key with them is to think about the problem as almost an opportunity. So to your point, doing, pickups or doing delivery, specifically for restaurants. Other services are now, doing things virtual or online, or they're adapting, right? But if your customers and your guests and your patrons don't know that you're adapting, they're obviously not going to know to turn to you. If it's specifically like a dine-in restaurant, I know in Toronto here, all the restaurants by law have to close. All the dine-in areas are closed. And traditionally restaurants that wouldn't normally deliver are now delivering because they need a revenue stream. So their customers and guests may not know that, right? Unless you're specifically following them on Facebook and opted in to receive their notifications. If anything, people might post on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. But if you're not emailing or SMSing your guests, if you're not in their inbox like every other business is right now about what their COVID-19 response plan is, then you're quickly forgotten. So I think the message is for those on the call that already have clients that have already generated data, so emails, phone numbers, use the broadcast functionality in our system to send text messages, to send emails, work with your clients on a strategy. You might even consider not even charging them for this blast, one-time thing. You're a client, you already pay us, or you're not going to, whatever the situation is with your client now, as a sign of goodwill almost, get in there and communicate with their guests. I mean, Craig, do you agree? Like, now, how important is it now for businesses to let their customers know that they're still in business?
Absolutely. It's super important. And, to your point, whether you're going to charge them or not, in this time frame where they're wondering if they're going to be able to pay their bills at the mercy of everything going on, offering that help, even at no charge, really certainly builds that credibility and that trust with them. So, yeah, I mean, that's a lot more value to you as a business owner than anything. So put that back into them. So I agree. Reach out.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, talking about the second group is if you're still prospecting and you think, oh, restaurants are closed now, what's the point? In fact, I covered this a little bit last week, and it's almost the opposite. Now, Craig, I know you've done a lot of work with restaurants, and traditionally, right, you walk in, you try to get the business owner, they're usually busy. Right now, almost all business owners are forced to stay home. So have you reached out, or have you had any success or luck? Have you talked to any of your clients currently, or tried to prospect anyone new?
I have. So I've been reaching out just to, one, see how they're doing, find out what they're doing to do deliveries and do stuff that's outside of their normal, just as like I'm inquiring as a customer. And typically I'm asking, and I was like, well, have you guys been sending out emails, or you've been reaching out? Because like I was a little confused that you guys are still open. And so I'm glad you responded. And I've been just offering just essentially some advice. My background's in web development, so I help them a little bit where I can. And my goal is to basically give back to them a little bit, so that when things start to come back to normal, say, hey, we were talking about a little bit about your contact list before. I have an opportunity for you that might be able to solve some problems that may occur in the future. We didn't know this was going to happen, but let's prepare for it for next time if you're open to it. So turn problems into opportunities, and they're usually thinking about it.
Yeah, totally. And are you doing those? Obviously, it's all virtual, so you're using a combination of Zoom,
Oh,
or
yeah.
what's your process essentially?
Yeah, so I typically, so I've been just like Facebook messaging quite a bit of them. I go to the restaurant, I'll Facebook message the restaurants themselves, see who responds. Majority of companies here are laid off, at least majority of their staff. So I don't foresee kitchen people or drivers responding to these messages. So most of them are owners, or at least general managers that are involved. So you're talking to decision makers 98% of the time right now.
That's such a good point, right? Like, who takes over when they don't want to say the ship is sinking so much, but it's almost like, when it's time to clear the factory, who's left, right? Usually the owner, usually the manager, or the floor boss, right? So that's a really good point. When you're reaching out now and using what we had in the 30-day Wi-Fi challenge, the outreach via Messenger, pretend you're a customer, ask some questions. Hey, do you guys deliver nowadays, or what do you do? Yeah, you're usually open, right? Well, let's chat about strategy. I specialize in helping businesses get back, and I have a special local business offer given the circumstances. Quick 15-minute, half an hour Zoom meeting. I can help explain that to you. Do you have any free time? And we know they do, right? So I think it's a good opportunity now to do that. And so to your point, reaching out by Facebook Messenger is a good key, and you can also find a lot of clients on Google, on Yelp. Specifically now, for those that don't know, that reviews are actually turned off on Google. So you can't even leave a review on Google. So if you do review management on the call, you might have trouble charging your clients this month, right? Because you're not doing any work. You got to start thinking out of the box. There's only so far you can go with your current niche. So if your current focus is, obviously Wi-Fi marketing, but if you're doing reputation management, if you're doing any kind of digital advertising, Facebook ads, people are also cutting back on budget. Obviously, you're not spending money when your restaurant is closed. So, this is time to think about something different. And maybe, Craig, I know that you've done really well at this and using Wi-Fi to open doors to sell a package. Maybe you can go into one of your best examples of that being the case where, maybe you tried something traditional that didn't open the eye of the customer, but then they heard about this, way to capture data, and you got that foot in the door.
Sure. So something that we're doing right now, I'll just kind of give you a strategy that we've been rolling with. Almost nothing to do with Wi-Fi, but more about building the trust is helping restaurants get back into the community. There's a lot of first responders, hospital folks, daycares, anything that is essentially considered essential right now that, are working busily around the clock, whatever the case may be, and just saying, hey, we have some ideas for you to, bring a couple of pizzas to the local hospital, or bring some things to these people that are working around the clock. And they're really appreciative of this type of consultation. And then again, it's about building trust right now. We're not really looking for cash on this. It's just about trust and growing there. In the past, though, we've also looked at, like how's their website operating, how they're doing with some of their Facebook and their marketing, and then tying that back into Wi-Fi as it goes forward. So I've used Wi-Fi for both the foot and the door, and then of course the secondary sale as well. So it's a fun world.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a fun world. And I have noticed, and it's going to sound, a little crazy, but in the last couple of weeks, whenever the whole world's shutting down, like myself at my Wi-Fi, we've been off the hook with calls and interest. And I think it's a good time where, a lot of people are thinking about new ways to make money. They think, what's a new way, a new thing that's out of the box? The whole world's almost paused right now. So people are thinking about different things to do, and we're getting a lot of calls inbound now. So, those of you already that are signing up, go out there, hit the market, because there's going to be more competition, I'm sure, as everybody starts to understand the value of Wi-Fi marketing. So, by virtue of you already being on this call and watching this video, you're already a first mover and you have that advantage. But everything will catch up, I'm sure, in time. And, now I think I just want to quickly transition to my slides, because I had a really big message that I hope everyone takes away from this, is that it's never been more important to communicate with your customers. Okay, so the number one thing you need to let your clients know, whether they're your current clients, prospects, potential, even if you're just calling them to say hello, like the number one thing, if you're going to leave with one message, is it's never been more important to communicate with your customers and your guests, to capture their names, their emails, their cell phone numbers, especially with restaurants or hotels or anywhere that's that's almost dead right now. No one is visiting those locations. It's never been more important to do that. And the fastest, easiest way to do that when they reopen is through Wi-Fi marketing. So I'm going to be going on some training, and Craig, I would love for you to join me. I know we have some other special guests lined up next week as well. And we're going to be trying this out, and we're going to be using live examples of calling a business. Craig mentioned Facebook Messenger, huge strategy to get to the business owner. So definitely you can call, or you can Facebook message, follow that up with a phone call, maybe send an email as well. Even if they have live chat, go to the live chat and start chatting, because these business owners are literally sitting at home waiting for business to roll in. And, by you appearing to be a customer, you'll get their attention, and then you can hopefully get that remote meeting, and you do it through a calendar booking tool like Calendly or through HubSpot. Plug them into the platform demo via Zoom. So Zoom integrates with both of those, as I mentioned, and you can drop ship the device when they're ready to go ahead with that. So I know, Craig, you do a lot of online demos, and I know that you're planning to do some, in the next few weeks. What I'd love to do is work directly with you and others who are interested. Just comment below, and what I'll do is do this training. But then I actually want to help you guys one-on-one to go out here, help you refine your script, and then come back with some results that you've had in the next couple of weeks of trying this, especially during this COVID response time, to get in there, get in front of the business owners, and start making some money again.
Absolutely, man. Happy to help. Provide value. That's the goal. That's what you really got to do right now.
Yeah, for 100% agree. And for those who don't currently have clients and want to still do this demo, you can go into your account. Under the drop down, there's something called demo data. You can use that demo data to do everything in the system. You can show clients what it would appear like if they were connected, even though you don't have any clients already. So it's a great tool to use. And on that note, Craig, thank you so much for joining us live. Again, hope you stay safe. I see that you're at home there. I am actually in our office. My office is 5 minutes away from our home, and all of our staff are at home. So I make the quick quarantine travel here, and I'm the only person here. So I'm here safe and working hard. All of our staff are working remotely from home. And I hope if you're watching this, you stay safe, stay well. And if you need anything at all, please reach out to our support team. We have a ton more new features coming out. The SMDP email is coming very soon. Multi-language and a bunch of different languages for all the platform is coming soon, in addition to a new knowledge base and training center that it's currently in the works. So thank you again, Craig. Take care, everyone. Talk soon.
Thanks, Kevin. See y'all. Be safe.